I am Alonzo Blackwell, and I'm on the Member Engagement Committee of OHIMA. Today, we have one of our esteemed guests who has been a member of OHIMA and NOHIMA's boards, Ms. Tonya Bates. Tonya, thank you for being a part of our video series.
You're very welcome. Thank you for considering me.
So, to start off, tell us a little bit about yourself. Who is Tonya Bates?
Tonya Bates is a mother of two sons, 20 and 17. I have been an HIM professional for 24 years. Prior to that, I did pharmaceutical sales. I have a BS in biology from Case Western Reserve University. I have a major in biology and a minor in psychology. And when I graduated college, I did pharmaceutical sales for Pfizer Pharmaceuticals, and then
Wow.
I did a career change, and here I am in HIM.
Okay. Wow, that's pretty impressive. Now, how about hobbies? What's your hobbies? What do you like to do on your spare time, downtime?
Reading is probably number one because I do that the most. Shoe shopping, traveling.
Okay. All right. So, with your job, can you share with our viewers what a day in the life is like for you with your job?
Sure. So I work for a company called Enjoin. It is a vendor, and we provide clinical documentation improvement, education. We do chart review to look for DRG, possible DRG changes, and we have a physician team that does review of medical records as well, along with the analyst. So my job is compliance manager. As compliance manager, I'm responsible for overall HIPAA privacy and security for the company, just overall compliance. I am also responsible for talent management or HR. So it depends on what day. For the most of my time is spent currently doing HR, taking care of HR issues, writing policies and procedures, dealing with putting productivity standards in place. Um, my compliance hat, I just did a risk assessment for the company in December, and I am writing 42 policies and procedures for compliance.
Okay.
So,
Wow, very impressive. So, what got you interested in the HIM field?
well, in my previous career, I was doing pharmaceutical sales, and one of the physicians that was in my territory introduced me to Chloe Kemp Mitchell, who is now retired, but she was an HIM director at South Point Hospital. He introduced me to her, and I just kind of listened to what her day entailed. And then Kathy Laughlin from Cuyahoga Community College in Cleveland was at South Point Hospital doing a career day of sorts, talking about HIM as a profession. And I thought it was interesting, so I decided to go back to school. And here I am.
All right. So, how do you keep current in the profession?
I attend conferences. I try to stay very active on the OHIMA board. I am on the board for the Regional Association, NOHIMA, reading and just engaging with the activities that Enjoin offers, because the bulk of our employees are HIM professionals, most of which have a history of being coders. So just the internal education that we provide, and then our physician team also does education. So I attend almost all of their webinars, any type of educational activities that they're doing. I try to attend those as well.
Very good. So, in your opinion, what's the biggest challenge or biggest change you've seen in the industry since you've started?
I would say the biggest change is going from paper records to an electronic record. Not everyone has embraced that. I think the electronic medical record caused a little bit of laziness from the physicians in that they got in the habit of copying and pasting instead of actually writing out their notes. So having to deal with that, I think, has been one of the biggest hurdles.
Okay, very good. Um, so any career aspirations for yourself in the futures? Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
5 years, I will be Chief Compliance Officer, hopefully for the organization in which I work for now, but that is definitely where I will be. Sooner
Okay.
than 5 years, but 5
Oh,
years, I'll be settled into that role.
all right, awesome. So now, how long have you been a member of OHIMA?
Wow. OHIMA, wow. I'm going to say maybe between 15 and 17 years.
Okay,
Between
okay, that's
15
a
and
long
17.
time, long
Mhm.
time. So do you think OHIMA has helped you in your career? And if yes, how so?
I would say yes. And the reason I say yes is because of my attending the OHIMA conferences. I've had the opportunity to network with a lot of different people in a lot of different careers within HIM. So getting to network with them, hear what they do, what in a day in the life of them, um, gave me the desire to do more than just be a manager or director of an HIM department.
Okay. All right. So we know our profession is all about change. What advice would you give a colleague or coworker with dealing with so much change?
I would say embrace it. Don't be resistant. Have a voice. Weigh in on that change. A lot of times decisions are made in our profession, and we're left out. We're not invited to the table to have a voice. Respectfully provide a voice when there's change that's going to impact you or your area.
Okay, very good. So as we close, if someone were to come up to you asking about a career in HIM, what would you tell them or what advice would you give them?
I would tell them to find their passion, figure out what they want to do. An HIM professional can do a vast number of things. You're not limited to working in an HIM department. So figure out what your passion is and go for it. Step outside of the box.
All right. So I'd like to thank Tonya for joining us today. It was a pleasure hearing from you and your background. So I'm Alonzo Blackwell from the Membership Engagement Committee. Have a nice day, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job.